this is Christy, the Fast Forward Stitcher. If you are here to my channel watching my videos, hi, thank you, welcome, hello. If you are one of my 65 subscribers, hi, thanks so much for watching my videos and subscribing. I'm mostly a cross stitcher, and slowly I'm kind of getting more into the YouTube thing. I'm not computer savvy. This is a one-woman show. I do everything myself, and I'm slowly learning how to do stuff. So if you like my video, thanks so much. I am very much an amateur at all this editing and YouTube and all that stuff. If you don't know yet, I do have an Instagram. I am Fast Forward Stitcher on there as well. I'm going to post a link in the description box below. Today's video, I am going to do something that I actually haven't done yet. Well, I haven't talked in any of my videos, or I did one, but I deleted that one. Anyways, long story. But this right here, Honey Dicks. I finished this yesterday, and I was so excited that I finally finished it that I took a picture of it and posted it on my Instagram account, and someone had a question about the grid. So today's video is gonna be in response to that question. Yes. As you can see, this is Ada. I feel very comfortable working with Ada. I haven't really worked with any specialty fabrics or anything higher than a 22 count because I don't feel comfortable with it. I know there's a lot of people out there, a lot of cross stitchers who only use specialty fabrics and threads. I'm not one of those people. I'm very basic. I like my Ada. I believe this is a 16 or 18 count. I'm not really sure. But this is my Honey Dicks, and I'm really happy how it came out. And it is on Ada. It's on my Ada. And yeah, I have to do the grids because I've tried to stitch without grids. I don't know how some of y'all can do it where you stitch without grids. Like, I can't do that. You are very talented. I'm not that talented or coordinated. Every time I try to stitch, well, when I first started stitching a while ago, like 20 years ago, if I was off by one stitch, that would like do a domino effect and throw everything off, and it was very frustrating. And yeah, so about 6 years ago, I started stitching again. Oh, I'm sorry if this is like bouncing. I'll try my best not to touch the table because then my camera bounced. Okay. About 6 years ago, I started stitching again. And on, was it Facebook? I think there was just a handful of stitchers and cross stitch communities on Facebook. And someone mentioned how they grid. And they would use like some kind of specialty thread to do their grids. And I didn't have any of that specialty threads, and that's kind of expensive, and there was no LNS where I lived at the time, so I went to eBay and found red fishing line. And that's how I started gridding. If you go into my archive of videos, you can see how about 2-3 years ago I used to use red fishing line to do my grids. It helped me out a lot, but it took me like a day or two to grid a fabric for my WIP. If you're new to cross stitching community or you never heard of the word WIP before, it means WIP, work in progress. So you're gonna hear me say that a few times, okay? So if I wanted to work on a certain WIP, I would have to do the grid, and it would take me a day or two before I can start the piece, and it was like kind of frustrating because I just wanted some of the pieces. I just wanted to start them right away. So later on one of the Facebook pages, someone mentioned these pins. I'm right here. And ever since then, I started using these pins, and I haven't stopped since. I love these pins. They're Frixion pins. You can find them at Staples, at Office Depot. There's a lot more selection on Amazon. I'm going to post a link to the Amazon below. Sometimes you can see them in the 3 color set, the black, blue, and red. but often I find just the blue, and there'll be like a 3 or 4 pack. Blue is my favorite color, so that's what I use the most, and it works pretty good on the white. So I usually, whenever I find those 4 packs, I think the 4 packs. But whenever I find the 4 packs, I usually buy them because I use this one the most. These, I don't use them that often, so if there's a pack of all 3 colors, I'll buy it if I need them. You can see in my videos where I kind of mark, I use the other colors to mark some stuff. So right here in this piece, I put a line here and a line here in red. I don't know if you can see that well. But that is to show me that this is the middle of the whole chart. You can kind of see right here a little bit, and here, and here, in black. That's to show where the page ends. So some charts, they'll end, and then the next page they'll have like highlighted of the 2 rows that are overlapped in the chart. This chart did not have that at all. As soon as it stops right here, the next page, it continued. So I use a black to help me know that this is on one page and then this is on the other page. For this line here, that middle red line was also where the page was. So right here on this black line and this red line, this was page 1, this was page 2, this was page 3, and this was page 4. Does that make sense? I hope it does. Also, I'm working on the editing this video right now. Something happened to some of the files, like when I was working on this and this. I don't know what happened to the files. They were deleted. And then I was looking at this file and something happened, like it said it was encrypted. I am not computer savvy whatsoever. I'm doing all this on my own. I have no idea what that means. And I'm a little upset that none of this part came out, which I'm a little sad about. But I'm trying to figure this out, and when I have this video done editing, I will upload it to YouTube. So you have that to look forward to. But in the video, you can see how here, you can kind of see a little bit, there's red lines. I kind of drew the outline of some of the pieces. Like this one's all one brown color. So I did the outlines, and when I went to stitch it, it was faster for me because I knew I had to stitch within that part that I outlined. And I did the same for here, and for here, and just made stitching a little bit faster. Yeah. So the person asked me about these pins. They liked the gridding, but they weren't sure about the pins, and they didn't know how to get rid of the pins, like if you had to wash the fabric or whatever. These are Frixion pins. This video is to demonstrate how they work for that person that commented and for anyone else who's interested. I'm just using this piece of paper to show. Each of these pins, they have that little tip. See how they all have that tip on there? So pretty much the friction creates heat. Oh, I'm sorry if this is like shaking too much. Okay. So with the heat of the friction, it makes the ink go away. Okay, I'm sorry, that sound you hear is my iron. Obviously you can't just erase these lines on the fabrics, so I'm getting my iron ready so I can show you how to get rid of it on the fabric. So see how that line's coming off? The heat from the friction makes this go away. I've heard that if you put this paper in the freezer, those lines will come back. I haven't tried that yet. I don't know if that works or not. Sounds a little interesting. The highlighter works too. On Amazon, they do sell highlighters and markers of these pens. I haven't seen those at Staples or Office Depot. But yeah. So if you work with paper patterns, this highlighter would be a good option. I bought this highlighter years ago because I used to work with paper patterns, and I used regular highlighters to mark my patterns, and then I accidentally marked the fabric, and I had to throw the whole fabric away because of it. With this, because it's erased with heat, you iron the fabric and it goes away. So if you use paper chart still, I would recommend these. And I always use Aida. I'm comfortable with Aida, so I know once I iron this, it's going to be fine. If you work with specialty fabrics or thread, you're going to want to test a corner first before ruining the whole fabric. Okay, so my iron, I don't think it's hot yet, but yeah, that just happened. All those things went away. I barely touch over here, so these aren't on yet. But oops, that is not an ironing board. I'm sorry, I have my board underneath. That's my cutting board, not my ironing board, so I need to move it out of the way before I melt that. But yeah, I'll show a little bit closer. Hopefully this will zoom in okay. The grid is gone, and this I haven't ironed yet. So I'm going to do it again so you can see that again. Ta-da! That was just a quick swipe, and it took out most of the ink. Let me get up there. Usually I do wash my pieces before I iron and stuff. If I use a hoop frame, because I'm touching the fabric a lot, you can see like where you hold it and all that dirt and oil from your hands that gets on the fabric, and that's when you want to wash it. Since I use scroll frames now, I don't have that issue anymore, so I don't really need to wash my pieces anymore, but I do need to iron them. Normally I'm just ironing like this just to demonstrate how these pins work. Normally I do put like another fabric over it to protect my piece from damage, and then I iron it out. You can see right here, that's where I had the scroll frame on there. Bye pin markings. So this is DMC threads on Aida. If you're using specialty threads, specialty fabric, you're going to want to test a piece of the fabric first before you iron or use pin marking. I would always suggest just do like a corner so you know you're not going to use it. It's going to be, when you're finished with the piece, it's going to be folded in the back and no one's going to ever see. So if you just kind of mark it, damage it, it's okay. Because even if this doesn't iron out on that fabric, it'll be in the back. But yeah, as you can see, this works fine. Alright, I hope you like this video. Yeah, if you want to, give me a thumbs up. That's cool. If you don't, that's fine. If you want to see more of my videos, just subscribe. I do plan to have a weekly vlog video coming up starting this week. More description on that will be on the first video. So